The game audio never recorded, so I placed the music and sounds in myself. So, sorry if it sounds off at points. And not because the game is just off itself. Hello, my fellow Warlocks. I am the Warlock Kadash. It is nice to see you all. We are back to Doki Doki Literature Club, or what I like to call my waking nightmare. My waking glitching nightmare. So let's continue this game. Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry, something creepy is going to happen any second now, I just know it. Like I could ever get any of my friends to read this? They just think manga's for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the fucking face. You know what I mean? I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. That's fucking dark, wow. Can I click on those? No. At least it's safe here in the club room. I wonder what it would be saying if I was trying to impress Yuri. At least it's safe here in the club. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? She looks like she's about to go brain dead. So, jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah, I flipped the page. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. She's dead. She's so dead. She's totally dead. This gives me flashbacks to someone else I might have known that might have died, but I can't remember. It looks like she just started to sleep. Hey, Natsuki. Yeah? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey! Oh my... Please. Just stop. Go away. Oh my god. What is happening here? I hate this. It's not even that scary. It's just fucking... It gets at me in a weird way that horror doesn't usually get at me at. Oh jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? There's no music. There's no music. This is not good. Here. Monica reaches into her bag to pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give... She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth. Don't worry, Makimu. She's fine. It happens every now and again. You know people can just glitch out like that. It's no big deal. No big deal. You're totally not in a computer simulation where everyone you know and love is going to die. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now? I'm not going to like this at all. Thank you for returning the music. Even though it kind of helps a bit. Maybe that's why they designed the music this way. It helps remind you that I don't know. It's a little comforting. I'm gonna go to Monica. Just get the hardest voice out of the way right away. Seem eager to read my poem, and I wanted to know if I'm putting in effort. Well, whatever. Hi, Makimu. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, do you have a cigarette? By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever had any suggestions for club activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Now, of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off with just the flow of more settling.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Marky Moo. We'll all a little embarrassed today, you know? There's that sort of barrier that we all learn to get past soon.
A harmonica, my poem.
I like it, Marky Moo.
Really? It's a lot cuter
than I expected.
Oh, jeez.
No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often.
I think that just said a lot about Natsuki. But
sometimes she just loses all of her strength and shuts down. Like earlier, where she, got all the black glitchy spots on her eyes and mouth, and just spoke a bunch of nonsense in a demonic code. This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because of her malnutrition is interfering with her adolescent growth. Wow. But hey, some guys are into petite girls too, you know? Sorry, just trying to look on the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's
because I have to sound confident. I don't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then. Alright. Is this the same poem as before? Playing tricks on my ears, crinkle closing on me, the air I breathe despises my lungs. He's right there. Shut so fears. Yeah, this is the same poem.
So what do you think?
Very freeform, if that's what you call it. It almost sounds familiar too.
Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay.
Yeah, that kind of
style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. Now that a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful.
God. Gonna need a little break after this episode. What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not so sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been kind of influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, but it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other, you know? Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip for the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, you get for a specific point, be sure to say, if you try so hard to make it perfect, just force yourself to get... Okay, I was expecting something weird. I was expecting like the save... I thought this was the save game one that she would give. Another way to think about this is, keep your pen in the same spot for too long, dark puddle of ink. Yeah, this is the same stuff that she said before. Thanks for listening. Alright, let's move on to Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more enough time for her to finish reading.
Sorry, I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words.
Hold on.
Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why'd you ask?
Just making sure. I guess that it might be...
After reading through it... is it so bad?
No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Mrs. Doubtfire buries her face in her hands. She couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes since they really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there's a specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize is that new writers is that they tend to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up on writing styles separate from the topic matter and form fit the two together. In the end, the result is both style and expressiveness are weakened.
Once Mrs. Doubtfire finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something that you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Bias how?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Mrs. Doubtfire is apologizing to herself, or to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I love sharing my thought process behind it.
Smiles down. Let's see what she wrote. This is the same one? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you such a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Eh? That's a relief.
I also like the poem. Even though it was short, it was very descriptive.
It wasn't too short, was it? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's the first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you in a ghost, Yuri?
Oh, god damn it. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Monkey Moo.
Really? Must have totally missed the point, like I did the first time. How do I know that?
Well, so I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their thoughts and feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell the simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolic, simply compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining piece of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way.
I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Alright, I'm gonna take a drink of water, take a short break, and I'll be back in the next episode continuing this bullshit. I keep saying this bullshit. It's actually getting kind of impressive. I just hated the 3 hours before all this interesting creepiness. Thank you all so much for watching, Warlocks. I'll see you all next time. Bye.